How did Jesus choose the 12 disciples? And who were these men that helped change the world? The word disciple means follower or learner. Apostle means one who is sent out. When Jesus walked the earth, his followers were called disciples. But after his resurrection, when he sent them out to spread the gospel, they became known as apostles. Even during his ministry, the Bible sometimes uses the two terms interchangeably. The 12 disciples are listed in Matthew 10:2-4, Mark 3, and Luke 6. They were Simon Peter and his brother Andrew, James and John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew, James the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who would later betray Jesus. Some names vary slightly. Thaddeus is also known as Judas, son of James. Simon the Zealot is sometimes called Simon the Canaanite. And Bartholomew is widely believed to be the same person as Nathanael. Peter and Andrew were fishermen and early followers of John the Baptist. Andrew introduced Peter to Jesus. Peter later denied Jesus 3 times. Yet he became a leader in the early church and was eventually crucified upside down in Rome. Andrew was a quiet yet passionate preacher who boldly spread the gospel after Jesus' resurrection. James and John were brothers and part of Jesus' inner circle. James witnessed miracles like the raising of Jairus' daughter and was present in Gethsemane. John, the disciple Jesus loved, would go on to write multiple books of the New Testament, focusing heavily on love. Philip was an eager evangelist who told Nathanael, also known as Bartholomew, about Jesus. Nathanael was skeptical, asking, "Can anything good come from Nazareth?" But he followed nonetheless. Matthew was a tax collector, hated in Israel for working with the Romans. But Jesus saw more than his profession. He saw his heart. Thomas, the doubter, demanded proof of Jesus' resurrection, but once convinced, became a strong witness of Christ. Little is known about James the Less or Simon the Zealot. Simon may have once been a political activist, but his zeal turned to Christ. Thaddeus, or Jude, lived quietly in the background. And then there was Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Luke 6:12-13 tells us Jesus spent an entire night in prayer before choosing the 12. It wasn't random, it was intentional. Just as Israel had 12 tribes, Jesus chose 12 men to represent a new spiritual foundation, a new Israel. These men left their homes, jobs, and security to follow Jesus. They didn't yet know the cost. Many would give their lives for the gospel. But Jesus made it clear, whoever wants to follow me must take up their cross. Before ascending into heaven, Jesus graduated his disciples. In Matthew 28:19-20, he commissioned them to go and make disciples of all nations. The book of Acts shows they did exactly that. They preached boldly, performed miracles, and spread the gospel to the ends of the earth. Jesus' choice of the 12 set the pattern for discipleship today. To be a disciple isn't just about belief. It's about following, learning, and living for Christ. Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross daily, and follow me.